Good morning and welcome to Better Thyself segment of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. All work and no play makes Jack a very dull boy. That's a very old saying, and there's a lot of truth in that. But what has happened is that now we are so obsessed with work, we are so much under pressure with work that the old proverb needs to be rescheduled and reword it. In today's incarnation, I would say the proverb should be all work and no play can kill Jack, not only make him a dull boy. Circumstances have changed, connotations have changed, and when I read the news that a Japanese journalist died because of overwork, 31-year-old Miwa Sado, she worked overtime for 159 hours. 159 hours with just 2 days break, continuously working. And that she worked in 1 month. What was the result? She collapsed from a heart attack, and the death was termed as a result of overwork. And the Japanese have a name for this death caused from overwork. That is called Karoshi. Now, Karoshi is a new term which has been coined, and literally it means death by overwork. But the Japanese are not the only one who have seen the danger of overwork. Chinese too have a Mandarin word for that, and that's an old word, Guolaosi. Death from overwork are so common in the Chinese factories that they have coined a word for that. And now here in the West, and most of the countries, we use it only as a burn out. Somebody is burnt out. Not death. Intellectual death, not physical death. But then, are these countries not suffering from Karoshi or Guolaosi? As a matter of fact, these are the two devils which are haunting the workplaces every day. I've seen nowadays, especially the millennials, their work starts early in the morning, they get up, start working, and they keep on working late till night. They are on tour, they come back, and then again they start working. The office doesn't end at 5 p.m. The cell phone and the laptop make their home, their living room, their family room, their dining room, their bedroom, an extension of the office. Whether they are enjoying it or whether they are maintaining the balance is something which is known to everybody. And all that talk of the work-life balance seems to have been lost, at least in Canada, USA, India. Norway, Sweden are some of the countries which are retaining some balance. But China, Japan, South Korea, India, USA, and Canada are suffering. And then day is not far off. Then Karoshi and Guolaosi would be a normal happening. We have not devised a word which we need to devise or use word Karoshi and Guolaosi. There was a 2016 study that an average Indian millennial works for 52 hours a week, 52 hours. And that's the worst, highest globally. Added to it, Indians are the most vacation deprived people as per Expedia. 60% of the people need for vacation or they don't have time for the vacation. Situation here is not much better. People here don't work for 52 hours, they work for about 50 hours, just 2 hours less. I've seen the executives, senior executives, who have been working like that. I've seen my dear ones doing that. And thanks to the technology, that's adding to the menace of dissolving all boundaries of work and the personal life. Constant responding to the emails and urge to click on the social media platform. A strong thirst to keep one's mind fully loaded is a trouble, and that has become a norm, and it would be a storm in the family life and in the personal life. It has a fatal effect on mind and body. So you have to do something against such an erratic phenomenon. It's making people dehumanized, turning them into robots. So I've been thinking of this problem. And when I read about the Karoshi death of that Japanese journalist who worked for 59 hours and then died, I evolved a 5-step method to overcome this issue. And I feel that if the executives and the workers all over follow this schedule, maybe that will be helpful. First is allocate time. Switch off all technological distractions. You have to develop an urge to get distracted from social media while you can. Write a schedule of checking hours your account on phone and follow it. Say you'll check at 11 in the evening, in the morning, and then 3 in the afternoon. That's it. Nothing is going to happen. Heavens are not going to fall. You are not going to start a third world war if you don't respond to an email right away. And follow this. You can have any 3 times, 2 times, but keep on doing 24/7. Allocate a time that's dedicated for such activities. The rest of the day, you might want to keep your mobile phone away from your reach. Get away from your laptop. Get away from your phone. Second, most important thing, learn to manage your time effectively. Manage your time at the time of work. And when you're away from work, then the work should be the last thing on the mind. Prioritize your tasks. I'm not saying leave them, break them into achievable targets. Focus on time management techniques, but give time to yourself, to your family, to your social life as well. Don't be a robot all the time. Be a human being. Recheck your goal sheet. Discuss with concerned people and try to rework if it's unrealistic. Then another thing which came to my mind and which I find can be extremely useful. Adopt a wellness initiative in your work, in your office. You are going to have a meeting. So I thought, why not innovate and have a walking meeting? Why sit around the table and meet? Go ahead, go in the lawn, talk and walk. Or a standing meeting. Everybody's standing and maybe moving their legs a bit. So walking meeting or a standing meeting, that will at least get you out of the chair, get you around and make your body a bit more mobile, help sedentary lifestyle be reduced and help your bones and muscles move, work. Don't use the elevator, use the stairs wherever possible. I know if you're on the 35th floor, you can't use the stairs, but at least say the first 4 floors you go by the stairs. Park your car as far away from the office as possible. Now everybody wants to go to the parking spot nearest to the gate. And if you have parked it a bit away, you'll walk a few steps, and that would be useful. Remember to embed this wellness initiative as a part of the organization. And here, the management, the CEOs, the board of directors can take an initiative and ensure that the meetings are walking meetings, that there's a wellness schedule in the work. And this initiative will go a long way in breaking the jinx of Karoshi, as the Japanese would call it, or Guolaosi, as the Chinese would call it. And then think of the work beyond work. Think of those things, better things that bring joy and beauty, add beauty to the life, to the luster of life. Adopt hobbies, painting, singing, sports, instruments. Be a part of the few focus groups beyond work that will push hard to balance your mind and body. You are thinking only of work. Think of your mind, think of your body. And if for the leaders to encourage employees to give feedback when it comes to issues concerning work-life balance. Never undermine the health consequences of overwork. It not only affects you, it affects the whole family, it affects the whole society, it affects the community. And most important, communication is the key. Communicate with your superiors and leaders when you feel you are overworked, when boundaries have to be set. On the other hand, leaders should also need to encourage the employees to give them feedback when it comes to this issue. And they have to ensure that when they say, I want this work by this date, yes, but is it attainable? Whenever you are giving work, whenever you are assigning a task, look at the feasibility and the time involved. If you give such a time schedule, the employee would have to work 52 hours. As a matter of fact, I'm all for Denmark, Norway, and now Germany, which have adopted 3.5 days and 4-day week. Why have 5-day week? Have 4-day week. As a matter of fact, a thought came to me the other day and I put it in writing. Maybe I'll share with you today. Why not have a 1-day week? If you have a full 1-day week, you'll work maximum 24 hours. Isn't it? But I'm not saying work is bad, but then the balance, if it's lost, that is bad. The health consequences, as I said, to the individual, to the social unit called family, and effect on the children who are deprived of your company is shocking. Have you thought of your aging parents, whom possibly you might see every day but you don't communicate with? Have you seen how much gap is there between you and them and between you and your children? That is something which is really, really shocking. We need to have a governmental effort as well to ensure that, for example, an order should be issued that no employer shall send or ask for a work after the office hours. No phone call concerning work. And if an employee calls up, tell him, look here, we are meeting tomorrow in the office. We'll talk over there. Hammers won't fall. Your productivity won't suffer. As a matter of fact, your productivity would go up. Otherwise, the epidemic of Karoshi is going to overtake and beat other diseases that are there. And this epidemic effect spreads, which it is spreading, but even the health professionals have not taken cognizance of that. As a matter of fact, WHO should declare it a pandemic. And it's a pandemic because it's global. We need to check it today. Check it today for individual, for the society, and for the world as a whole. for the human race. Let's keep Karoshi, or Guolaosi if you want to call it, at bay. Let's maintain our sanity as human beings, and then you'll be a better person. You can't better thyself by overwork, but by creating a balance between work and life. Live life, don't only exist. That's the most important thing. Thank you.